Hello, 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 hello out there. How's everybody doing? This is everybody's favorite conservative in New York, Christopher Wright, here to present you with another one of my infamous walk and talk videos. Before I continue, just a quick reminder for those who are enjoying the content so far, thank you very much for your support. But if you could just like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, it'd be greatly appreciated. And once you do, just click that little bell icon so you'll be alerted of future video posts. That'd be the best you could do for me. Thank you. So with that said, today's walk and talk topic is going to be Kanye West and the pro-Trump rant on SNL. Wow, 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 wow. What needs to be said about that? Well, before I go right into that, I want to kind of build up to that subject and start off kind of where this whole thing with Kanye and Donald Trump kind of started off, because people don't really know about the beginning. This is not like the first time that, Kanye had pro-positive things to say about the president. And it starts off back in 2016. Then Trump was running to be president, and at that time, Kanye West was on tour for Life of Pablo, and that was the album that just came out at the time. And so he was touring, he was out, doing his thing. And what happened right after Trump got elected, Kanye came out on the tours, and what he was doing, he did 3 different concerts. And what he would do is, during his concert, he would have the mic cut off. And once they cut off the mic, I'm sorry, they didn't cut the mic, they cut off the beats, like the beat playing in the background. So once they cut off the music in the background, Kanye would use that time to then go on a rant. And he would go on a rant for like 15, 20 minutes. You can still find the rants on YouTube if you look. Just put in Life of Pablo rant and Kanye West or something like that, and you'll see it pop up. He did about 3 of these rants. And while he was ranting, he talked about a lot of different things. Kanye, he talked about everything from certain artists who aren't getting enough credit. He talked about, the corruption in the music industry, corruption when it comes to awards that are given out to celebrities and the different tricks they play to, the corruption in that industry as well. So he was saying a lot of inside information that you shouldn't have been saying, which was dangerous enough. But really, what really got him in trouble, as we all know, is when he said, I didn't vote in the 2016 election, but if I did, I would have voted for Donald Trump. Woo! Oh man, sign your own grave at that point, right? So after making that statement, oh my goodness, everybody was going crazy. Everybody was losing their mind. They couldn't believe Kanye, said that. But the higher ups didn't like that at all. So what did they do, you ask? First thing they did was on his 3rd show where he was about to do when he was doing another rant. They I guess they waited for him to cut the music. So when he cut the music and started ranting, that's when they cut his mic. So when they cut his mic, Kanye was still going on his rant, and he couldn't realize why people couldn't hear him, and he knew at that point that he got his mic cut. So he ran off stage, and when he ran off stage, I was watching like, oh my gosh, what's going on? What's going to happen? I was waiting to hear back from the press or somebody from his team to come out and say something about what's going on with him. But it was, silent for about a day or two. And then they finally came out in the press and said, Kanye had a nervous breakdown, and he had to get sent in for a mental evaluation. And I'm like, oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm sorry, when you got the press coming out saying certain things about the man, and, these elites in Hollywood and the music industry talking what's going on with Kanye, I don't know if it was a mental evaluation or MK Ultra evaluation. But either way, I don't trust it, right? So he went in for this mental evaluation, and he was gone for quite a bit of time. And then all I heard or saw from him after that was when he went to Trump Tower over here in Manhattan, and when he met with Trump right after he was elected, and he went and shook his hand, they did pictures with him and Trump together, all that good stuff. Other than that, right before that or after that, you didn't hear nothing from Kanye. So I was just waiting, to hear back from him, if he's going to be continuing on with his message, where he left off, or is he just going to leave it alone and say just stick to the music? What was Kanye going to do? So, as we all know, it was kind of quiet for quite a bit of time. And, and real quick, the main reason I wanted Kanye, or somebody around on Kanye's level, celebrity-wise, is because in the black community, a lot of times, we don't really necessarily listen to politicians so much all the time, but we do listen to, certain athletes or musicians or actors or, certain people with a certain level of celebrity. We're willing to give them an ear sometimes. So I was always saying, like, I'm waiting for them to, I'm waiting for them to come out, and, so when he came out, I was like happy that Kanye came out, as that celebrity, to be that voice. And because he's going to be able to reach the community that somebody like me or, you know, athletes or politicians, they want to be able to reach. So when he came out, I was like, okay, this is great. This is going to be great, you know, outreach for the black community. So when he came back, as we all know, you know, after he met up with Trump at Trump Tower, he was pretty much gone for about 2 years almost. And all of a sudden, about a couple months ago, when things seemed pretty quiet and silent, he made that tweet, "I like the way Kanyes Owens thinks." Ooh. And we all know what happened after that. You know, he set the internet on fire. You know, things got crazy. And, you know, he then came out and he went on TMZ. Remember, he did the whole sit down and he said, like, you know, blacks are still enslaved. And all that controversy came from that. And I knew exactly what he was talking about. What he was referring to as mental slavery. You know, we were physically enslaved in this country at one time, and now we're mentally enslaved. But the people that are doing it are the same people. The people that were doing it back in the day were the Democratic Party, and who's doing it to us now is the Democratic Party with the welfare state. And not to mention, not just that, but they're using the mainstream media now as well to push their influence. So, with that said, when Kanye made the tweet, you know, it set the internet on fire. He came out, did a TMZ interview, said what he said. Things got even crazier. And after that, he kind of sat back and chilled out for a bit. So you assume Kanye was like, okay, he's either, you know, done talking about this because he's worried about his career, or he's just, you know, trying to give it some time before he talks about it again. I don't know. We didn't know what was going on. So we gave it some time. And next thing you know, he goes on SNL. So when he goes on SNL, you know, everybody's watching to see how he's going to carry himself, what he's going to do, what he's going to say. But I knew he was coming with something because he had those pictures before the show even aired with him and Kylo Ren from Star Wars and Keenan from Keenan and Kel. And they were all together and he had the hat on. So you already knew he was up to something. So I watched to see what was going to happen. And when he came out in the show and did the rant, it was epic. Because, you know, if anybody watches SNL knows the way it is, you know, the guest comes on, they do a couple of performances. At the end of the show, they close out. And when they close out, they kind of just, you know, thank the cast members and writers and producers for inviting them onto the show and all that good stuff. So when Kanye was at that part, he was thinking, you know, he was singing and then he stopped and he started pointing at the crowd out there because the crowd started booing a little bit. And he said, look, they're laughing at me. They're mocking me. And when he said that, he pointed behind him to the cast and he said, they were laughing at me. They were mocking me backstage. You know, they told me, I don't know who told him. I don't know if it was a writer, producer, or another comedian or whatever. He said, they told me I better not wear this hat if I come on stage. So somebody was talking down to Kanye, like, you know, on some 1925, you know, Democratic Party, talking to a minority type stuff. And it was really disrespectful. And Kanye was like, you know, you're not going to silence me. You're not going to shut me down. You know, he said, you know, and he brought up how 90% of the media is ran by liberals. I'm like, oh my goodness. So he's saying that to let you know, like, they control the way you think. Who controls your television shows? Who controls your radio? Who controls your movies, your sports? When it comes to the political bias, when it comes to all those things, of course, the liberals, so they're going to lean it towards their side. So he was exposing a lot of information out there, man. I was like, Kanye was keeping it 100, man. He was really putting a lot of information out there. And after he did his rant, you know, he pretty much told him, we got to come together, man. He said, okay, well, you know, we don't always going to agree on everything, but how are we ever going to move forward if we can't sit down and be united and converse amongst each other and figure out how we're going to do things step by step? So he made a lot of good points and it made a lot of sense. And I just feel that, you know, I totally agree. You know, it's time, you know, for this main walk and talk message pretty much is, you know, is what Kanye was pretty much talking about is, you know, it's time for us to unite and, you know, put things aside and, you know, move the country forward, you know, as one, united. And, you know, he did a great job what he did on SNL the other night, and I got much respect for him. And, you know, he's always been an independent thinker, and he just proved further why he's known for that, being an independent thinker. So with that all said and done, you know, I mean, I just want to say thanks, Kanye, for coming out and, you know, stand up for the, you know, the black conservative message from a celebrity perspective, because we needed that voice. And, you know, with that said, I'm going to go ahead, put my Superman cape on, as you all know. Make America great again. You already know. MAGA. And, you know, so that's, free yourself from the mental slavery that we're currently in. It's a waste of our time. We're not going anywhere. It's time to move forward as a country. And like the shirt says, be free. God bless everybody out there. And hope you enjoy my walk and talk. Look forward to hearing from you in future videos. God bless.